I'll bring in the graph that they love to show straight away then, Garrett. This is what's happening
Yeah.
with the world, everybody. Let's have a look. That's basically the temperature for the world. It doesn't look too good, Garrett, if you look at that there. Global temperature trend from 0 when Jesus was born until 2019 AD. And look at it there. It's gone along there. It's sort of moved along, went down a little bit in the 1500s, but look at it. It's skyrocketed up to 2000. And if we don't watch what we're doing right now, Garrett, it's just going to go straight up. The thing you've got to realize, and I know that, this graph, they love to pull this graph out, but you've got to put it in perspective with the world itself. So if we think the universe, going back in time, is about 13 billion years old, planet Earth is about 4.5 billion years. I know there could be 4.68. It depends on when our specific galaxy and the sun was created, etc. But I pulled another graph out there for people to actually have a look over the last 500 million years. Now, we've gone to climate.gov, so this website's actually from scientists, Garrett, So if we have a look at this right now, and this puts it in perspective, and this is why people think, oh, well, the planet, I don't think we can control global warming. This is the first thing. Look, 500 million years ago, the average temperature was essentially over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So at that moment in time, this was the world without polar ice caps. So when they talk about the world going into sort of glacier movements, and essentially for people to understand is a lot of it's to do when, because the world rotates on an axis. So, and then we go around the sun. So with 365 days, it takes us to go around the sun, and 24 hours it does. But it spins a little bit like that. So it's not a perfect circle, everybody. It's a sort of sphere. So at points in history, we're moving a little bit further away from the sun, and it's only like small degrees, but it makes a huge difference to the temperature. So if we sit and look at that there, Garrett, sort of puts it a little bit more in perspective, because the first graph, we're in at 0.3 degrees. So it looks a bit of a disaster. Look at that. And if we don't watch what we're doing, it's going to go up to 0.6 degrees higher than what it is. But if we look at this one, Garrett, we bring it in there, we're way down here,
Yeah, it's really kind of crazy, when you do zoom out and start to look at it. I mean, I'm personally kind of a believer that, that there might be a lot of things that we're using nowadays that are unsustainable in the sense of, in an economic sense, or there's different kinds of pollution that we see associated with industries. With the air pollution, as it is kind of known within the oil and gas space and everything, that's the number one thing people focus on. They don't focus a lot on the extraction and water pollution, which I think is way more critical to all of our well-being and the well-being of communities that live around these reserves, because water is so crucial to our ability to fish, to do many different things, have clean water to drink. And yeah, there's a lot of different ways to kind of look at the pollution aspect. And with COP27, this was interesting because every couple of years, and I was kind of told this by somebody I know with the Houston City Mayor's office, that basically told me that COP26 was big because it was in the UK. There's a very big mark that made. They had a lot of big attendees, but with COP27, there weren't a lot of people really willing to show up from kind of the Western world. It was a different tone, and I really do think that there's we're kind of going into a phase where I don't think a lot is going to be done in the name of this crusade.